one of the reasons they don't want to turn women over that they've been holding hostage, and the reason this pause fell apart, is they don't want those women to be able to talk about what happened to them during their time in custody. Certainly, there is very little that I would put beyond Hamas when it comes to its treatment of civilians, and particularly its treatment of women.
State Department spokesperson Matthew Miller suggested Hamas broke a humanitarian truce in order to avoid releasing Israeli women who endured sexual assault and other atrocities in its custody.
That Hamas has committed sexual violence, they've committed rape. We have no reason at all to doubt those reports.
He offered that explanation for the collapse of the truce after Hamas issued a statement denying that the terrorists engaged in any, quote, raping, despite photo and video evidence of dead women and survivors with apparent signs of sexual assault. Yet, he tempered the claim when reporters pressed him to clarify whether the U.S. government has established that Hamas scuttled the truce in order to avoid releasing the women.
A release of hostages was negotiated with some very clear terms, and that was that children and women would be the first priority to be released. Came up with excuses why. Ultimately, I don't think any of those excuses were credible, and I shouldn't get into any of them here. But certainly one of the reasons that a number of people believe they refused to release them is they didn't want people to hear what those women would have to say publicly.
Miller's initial explanation went beyond what other senior U.S. officials have been willing to say about Hamas's refusal to release the women. The ordeal of such women has emerged as a bone of contention in recent weeks, as UN officials hesitated to condemn those attacks for weeks after the October 7th rampage that ignited the war. Hamas dismissed those allegations earlier, saying, quote, "We reject the Israeli lies about raping, which aim to distort the resistance and tarnish our humane and moral treatment of captives," per a Turkish media translation. Its denial has been belied by footage that has circulated on social media from the earliest hours of the attack, as well as forensic assessments of corpses.